Greetings, YouTube. I'm going to link to a video today that has been moving its way around the blog sphere and here on YouTube. In it, you see two different men attempting to break into a car. One is white and one is black. This being America, you can probably figure out which one was hassled by the police. In fact, one of them had the police drive right by and ignore them. Guess which color that guy was? Now, this being America, the fact that a black man was stopped because he was breaking into a car doesn't surprise me in the least. For me, the act of racism here is the white guy was ignored. They just plain out and out ignored him. Alarm going off in the car. Yeah, who cares? Go about your business. It's just a random white guy breaking into a car. Now, it was his car. And the black guy breaking into it was his car as well. So, there was no actual crime involved. But it really was a nice example of how not post-racist America is. And anyone that tells you that we're in a post-racist America or a post-racist world is either living in a fantasy or is lying. Because they can't seriously believe we're in a post-racist world unless they are either living in a fantasy land, some sort of utopia that doesn't actually exist, or they're trying to cover up the fact that they really want the minorities of America to think that they are living in a post-racist world so that they can get away with even more than they do now. It's distressing, it's depressing, but being America, it isn't surprising, sadly. Now, cops should have been called on both these guys. Someone breaking into a car should be stopped. No, you don't know, just looking at what's going on, if they're the owner of the vehicle or not, so you should call the cops. You could be saving someone's property. I know I would do that. I've had a car that was outside my house one night that the door was open, there was no one around. I took the license plate number down just to be on the safe side. Didn't know what was going on. Didn't see anything going on that was wrong, but I didn't know what was going on. Why is there a car outside my house with the lights on, door open, no one around? I erred on the side of caution. It was nothing. Car was gone the next day. No hassle. But I was being precautious. And I didn't care what the ethnicity of the people that were in the car or owned the car. I was just curious why there was a car outside my house with lights on and no one in it. Now, as an aside, I had a humorous story about a black guy outside my house at an apartment building years ago. And we just wrapped up a role-playing game, and we're just kind of milling around the house, and we're about to go outside. And I glanced out the window, and there's a black guy standing there by the road, right outside my building, with a flat tire. It's very obvious it's a flat tire. I can see it from inside the building. And he's got a jack in one hand and the wrench in the other, and he's very well dressed and has absolutely no idea what he's doing. He's just standing there kind of like looking back and forth at these two things like he's got no clue what he's doing. So we walk outside, and he turns and he sees 5 white people walking towards him. One looked like a skinhead. It wasn't me. I actually had hair back then. And we just walked up and we took the tools out of his hands and we jacked the car up and we changed the tire and then we jacked it back down and handed the jack back to him and I said, "Have a nice day," and I walked away. But for that moment when he turned around, he saw those 5 white people walking at him. Even though 2 were women. There was fear on his face. Kind of made me sad. Got his tire changed though, and he was on his way, and he didn't get messy because he really had a nice suit. We aren't in a post-racist world. We're not going to be in a post-racist world for a very long time. A couple of generations maybe. Who knows? Possibly longer. And someone that tells you that we are in a post-racist world, like I said, is living in a fantasy world where they're lying. And this being America, I'm inclined to believe the latter.